Hello everybody and welcome back to the European World Championship Qualifier 2015 in Dublin, Ireland. I'm Rob Whitley and with me is Matthew Bell.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm not too bad, not too bad. It's been, well, quite a nice explosive first match really. Me and you were over on the replay machine watching it.
Oh yeah, that was awesome, and to see the wavering eyes as well coming out like that, which is the secret tech when no one knew, hey, is this guy going to make a difference? And actually seeing that first time, okay, it didn't make the difference in that match. He still lost, but to just sort of see the raw power of that turn one play, I'm just thinking he made a slight mistake there with one of the cards he searched for, and that game could have gone differently. But you just saw the power there. So there's a lot of tech that's going to be coming out this weekend.
Absolutely fantastic. Now, for this round, who we've actually got here is Luke Smythe from England, who's actually the Irish national champion, and he's going to be facing against James Cohen. Now, Luke is playing Necros, as a lot of people are this weekend, and he's facing against Shadow this round. Now, we've got both the deck lists right here. Let's have a quick look at Luke's deck here. Is there any sort of anything interesting that you can see there, Matt?
Okay, so some key things here on the monsters is he's not playing any of the other Necros monsters like the Great Sorcerer or the Exo, but he's playing sort of the normal lineup, but he's playing two Denkos in the main deck, so he's prepared for maybe a bigger Burning Abyss field in this tournament. He's also gone for DD Warrior Lady instead of Ballblader.
Yep. That's something that I'd like to ask him about, really, because it's one of those conversations that we've had before. What's better, Ballblader, DD Warrior Lady, or Exiled Force?
Yeah, and everybody has a different answer for that question. It's always a really interesting point starter. He has two Max C's mained. As you saw in the, I believe, Eugen's deck, he was playing Shared Rides. Max C gives him more Burning Abyss, so it's more plays against that deck. He also runs no trap cards in the main, so he's not even playing Vanity's Emptiness in the main.
And one of the major ones you said he's not running Book of Eclipse.
Yeah, he's actually decided not to play Book of Eclipse. A lot of Necros players always have a Book of Eclipse to deal with an opposing Djinn lock. In this case, Luke is actually playing just Book of Moon and Regeki. Those are his main outs, and he's of course got the searchable DD Warrior Lady. But it'll be interesting to see how this works out and ask him why did he go away from Book of Eclipse, because we've actually seen the hidden power of that card of giving them more ways to resolve a massive Exaton Knight in your opponent's turn, because they can't even negate it because you just flip it down and then the Clifford player cries. So,
and also he's running a Twister in the side rather than a Galaxy Cyclone.
Yeah.
Literally just so that he doesn't have to worry about hitting something face down before he can hit something face up.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how his side deck goes for this. We'll see how after the first game goes, I guess, how he's going to move into that.
Now, with the Shadow deck list, where James Cohen.
Yeah, we're looking at an Artifact Shadow deck with 3 main deck Lanciers and Sanctums, so he's going to always have access to that, and that could be huge in this matchup, when he can just make the opponent pass their turn, essentially. And he's going to be playing all of his Shadow fusions. He's got the 3 El Shadow fusions, as you'd come to expect, and he's just going to be able to rush through all that damage.
Yeah, it's not often that we've actually seen Artifact Shadow coming back either.
It's been a long time.
It has been a very long time. You said that there was something very interesting in his side deck there. He's very well prepared for a couple of different matchups.
Yeah, he's gone for like Roll Decrees in his side, but he's playing a heavy trap. That was actually what I was interested in, is what he's bringing the Decrees in against, maybe Burning Abyss. I actually think the players are ready, so we should get ready to jump to that table.
We can go over to the table and just have a look at the action going on there.
Okay.
I'm just waiting for the players to start. And there's the handshake.
And we're ready to duel. Just that awkward moment silence while players draw their hands. Okay, so we're just going to see what these guys are starting off with as the hands load in. I actually, my prediction is putting the game 1 in James's hands. I know Luke is a very strong player, but I think those Lanciers that are so easily accessible thanks to the Sanctums could make all the difference in this game 1. How Luke reacts to that in game 2 will be really interesting.
Now, we've just had the hands load in there, so Luke has got his Valkyrus, a Necrocycle, Denkoseka, Book of Moon, and Maxi. And by the look of it, James has got Shadow Hedgehog, Shadow Fusion, El Shadow Fusion, Artifact Sanctum, and he's just dropped that Thunder King Ryo, which is really going to hurt there.
That's a massively good start. I mean, the Denko looked great there when he could block out the Sanctum and prevent James from being able to respond to any of these mirrors and that. But now just summoning that Denko on its own is so weak when Thunder King, it doesn't answer Thunder King Ryo at all.
That's correct. Now Denko Zeka is going to hit the field.
So he's gonna be making plays off of this.
And a Shurit was added to hand for Luke Smythe.
Oh, is that his top deck? Is that his draw for the turn?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so now he does have the out for the. Oh, he has a Book of Moon as well.
So Book of Moon is going to be flipping Thunder King Ryo there.
Oh, this is going to be brutal. The Denko Seka just preventing. Sorry, I keep getting mixed up with the cards there. I keep getting mixed up with. See, James can't respond. So, how's Luke going to press the advantage here?
Well, it looks like he's probably going to be making something massive and then hitting him with it. As what Necros does very, very well.
Yeah, as we've seen over the YCSs and well, even just in talking for this tournament, it's a lot of really big plays. And we're going to see the Valkyros coming in.
Book of Moon was already played there. That's just a bit of an error. Now, Luke has now got a Bryanak to hand.
Okay, he's going to go straight for the attacks, and he's going to get 2,900 in very early. And
so big beefy blue beat sticks.
Yeah, because
straight away.
Because there's spells and traps played there, and a Thunder King Ryo in the main, Luke's probably not going to be concerned about getting trished back. So he is still going to take his cards to draw, but he's not going to be worried about getting trished.
Nah, he understands that he's probably not going to be playing against a Necros there. Now, to be fair, a lot of players were actually talking about what decks they were playing yesterday. So there was a big opportunity if you did turn up yesterday to pre-register to find out what your opponents were playing.
I always just feel the need of when someone asks, you're just going to lie. And you're going to be like, yeah, I'm playing
Harpies.
Harpies.
Yeah, Harpies. Harpies is going to win Euros. I've got some really cool tech that beats all of the decks.
And the guy gets his binder out and he's like, yeah, look at all these Harpies. You want to trade? And you're like, oh, wow, yeah, maybe I should play Harpies. So I never buy into that whole day one try and scout the field, because people change their minds on the Friday night when they find the best tech in the world. It
was quite interesting because we had pretty much all of the Nationals winners here last night as well to have interviews. They were all having a chat about the decks that they were running, and I was asking a couple of them, it's like, yeah, I hadn't decided yet, but now I'm going to play this. So it's a
I think they're
nice
just trying to throw the rest of the table off. And he's like, yeah, I'm playing Klee. Okay. So yeah, we've got to see how James plays out of this Denk to get this Denk off the field, and we did see a Valkyros added to the hand of Luke.
Now there's a Soul Charge, a Shadow Fusion, Shadow Hedgehog. So he could Soul Charge back the Thunder King Ryo
and then play the Fusion.
There's no real advantage there.
Well, he won't be able to attack this turn. That's okay. That's kind of his only real life.
It is the only play that he's got, unfortunately, as well. I mean,
well, he does get to keep the Thunder King Ryo back. Oh, I'm going to see Max C chained to that.
So as we said, Max C, fantastic against pretty much any deck outside. Much better than Shared Ride outside of the Necros matchup.
Yeah, he might actually. We might just see James pass with the Thunder King up again. I'm not sure if that would be the best thing. I mean, does he play the Fusion here? That's he can't attack.
He doesn't know. His opponent can't actually add a ritual spell card into his hand either.
Yeah, that reinforcements of the army in Luke's hand is currently a blank card.
Yep, and as said, he can't now bring back it. He can't get that Valkyros out anywhere. He can't attack this turn, so he can't really force him to discard it either.
So James could conceivably pass here and be okay, but whether or not how he's reading the situation, that's exactly how he's read it. He's hoping his opponent doesn't have a way of getting his Thunder King off. Oh, it's another Max C. That's a really bad draw right this second. So he just passes.
Luke is passing there. And James still with the Shadow Hedgehog and the Shadow Fusion in his hand, and he's about to get...
Yeah, the question is, will the Valkyros be played to protect
the
that?
Shadow Fusion.
Yeah, we're just going to see whether or not the Valkyros play comes off. Yeah, here's the Valkyros. So, will El Shadow Fusion get chained to that? That's what we're going to see next.
If he did it, he'd be getting rid of his advantage of his opponent not being able to search. So I don't think that's where he'll go with that. This
is true. I mean, the strategic value of that Thunder King Ryo is extremely strong right now. We know that, and I guess James has made an estimation based on Luke just passing. Oh, he is going to go straight.
He's going to go for it.
El Shadow Fusion. Oh, another Max C's played.
Giving Luke Smythe a lot of advantage there.
I guess one of the key things here is by taking that Denk off the field, he's actually freeing up 2 of his blank cards in his spell and trap zone. So there could be a good argument made for James going, okay, yeah, he's got to guess what Luke has. That's the thing. If he passes with that Thunder King row, he is just making an estimate on what Luke can do. So he's going to make sure he definitely clears the Denko Sekka off.
Definitely.
Because he's got Artifact. I believe James has Artifact Sanctum down, so he could go for a very fast Lancia in his opponent's draw phase.
Okay, so Shadow Hedgehog resolving first, and then Shadow Beast.
Yep, and we've got the Construct to send the card to the graveyard as well.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that was the Shadow Beast.
That was the Shadow Beast, so you could draw some cards. Now, it's a very nice situation for James at the moment. He's getting rid of the Denko Sekka.
Going to press some damage in there. I think Luke's actually going to be okay with this, because while it has sort of freed James's options up, it's actually given Luke back a huge number of his own options.
Let's have a look where he can go from here. So he's got a Mystical Space Typhoon, a Reinforcement for the army, and a Necros Unicorn. And now another Valkyrus.
Valkyrus number 3, I believe that is.
So where's he going to go from here?
Okay, so first thing, he's going to be going for some of his mirrors.
Because he does have a ritual card in the graveyard and a Necros card, so he would be able to go and search for another ritual.
Yeah, so he probably gets Kaleidoscope. Summons Unicorn, sending the Herald of the Arclight to the graveyard.
Now, as you said, there's that Artifact Sanctum.
Okay, so he's not actually... Okay, let's see what we do here.
It's possible that he may chain.
Yep, he's banishing 2, and he's probably going to get Necros, Mirror, Kaleidoscope. Because he then has 2 options. He could send his level 12 monster from his extra deck and summon the Valkyrus and the Unicorn. Or he might go for the Herald of the Arclight to continue his train of summoning here. The question is, will he be able to get access to his ritual spells if he does so? But he has a Herald. He could just go for a Herald of the Arclight search and
just set himself up for further plays.
Yeah, he could get the cycle, and then he's got the reinforcements of the army to get back to get a shirt to his hand.
And then there's the Herald of the Arclight.
Yeah, he's gone for Arclight.
Down comes the Unicorn, stopping the effect of Construct, I believe, as well.
Yep.
Unicorn having 2 very, very useful effects.
Yeah, Unicorn is arguably the rock of the deck. Like so much of your plays get opened up by this card, and it just allows you to do so many things. So from the Herald of the Arclight, we're going to be seeing a search.
And let's see what enters Luke's hand there.
Kind of feel when you have Necros matchups and you're watching, you get a lot of this sort of we're just waiting here.
Well, there's a lot of searching going on, so just so many cards being put into hand, and there's another search as well.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the same as back in Dragon Ruler format, where we had the rule where the rule basically came in that you don't offer your opponent to shuffle until you've finished your searching for the turn, because it would take forever.
Yeah. Okay, so we did see the shirt and cycle added to hand, so we could see Valkyrus coming back up from the graveyard, and then another search. Oh, he could go for the Bryonic. Oh no, he banished the Bryonic, didn't he, for the mirror? Because that would have been another answer to the construct without giving the fusion back. So a quick check of the graveyards to see if that information helps Luke make his decision here.
Now, you can kind of see where Luke's going with this. What responses does James have?
He's got Elshtal Fusion, Artifact Sanctum, and Falcon. Let's see where he goes. Okay. Let's say cycling the shirt for Valkyrus. And that will allow for another search. So that's Trishula, I believe, that just got added to Luke's hand. So Luke's going to be looking for his window to drop that absolute monster of a card. Ah, I guess it is a monster card.
It is. It is quite literally a monster card. It is a monster of a card and a monster card.
That is a really awful pun. I'm really sorry for anyone watching. That was accidentally terrible.
I'm sorry. So Unicorn, of course, stopping the effect of Construct there, so the Valkyros can just run it straight over with a huge 2900 attack.
Yeah, it's going to be just 100 slightly higher, so we can just knock the Construct on the head. Construct going to the graveyard, and 100 damage being dealt. And we'll see a fusion being added back to hand, because Unicorn only negates the face-up effects of extra deck monsters.
Now there's a Shadow Falco face down there, so we know that that's going to get itself back.
Yeah, if it's destroyed by a card effect,
Or
which is...
it's going to get a flip effect monster onto the field.
There's Shadow Beast in the graveyard.
There is, so it's going to possibly net him some more cards. Now, where can James go? Because at the moment, Luke seems to have just demolished what he'd built up.
He's not out, because he's got the Elshadol Fusion. He's still got cards. Okay, we're going to see 2 draws from Luke.
Denko Seka.
More Denko Sekas. And yeah, we're going to see more mirrors. Interesting, James has decided to not go for the Lancia block for the start of that turn. But we're halfway through Luke's mirrors at this point, because the Necros deck traditionally only gets about 7, if you count the preparation of rights. So we're sort of entering the mid stages of the game for Luke, and every mirror he plays past this point is going to be diminishing his ability to make more summons later in the game and restrict him. So Luke needs to make the next ritual summons count, but that's really easy in a Necros deck when all of your guys are so strong. And Denko blocking down those 2 back row cards once again.
So again, Artifact Sanctum and Elshadol Fusion
we're going to see the Trishula. There we go, that's huge, because that will take out the Falco. This is sort of one of the worst situations to be in with Shadow, when you're losing so many resources, because you're losing your graveyard resources, you're losing your on-field card, and cards in hand. And you've got these cumbersome fusions, especially when you're not playing against an extra deck focused summoning deck, so your normal Shadow fusions are actually costing you your real resources rather than resources from your deck.
So here goes the Falco, the Construct, and what's going to get hit from hand. I believe a judge is just coming over to make sure that it's completely random.
Sure. What cards do we have in James'
He says that he's got 3 there, but I can only see 2. And looking at it, it is
the fusion.
Elshadol Fusion that's now gone from his hand.
And the other Elshadol Fusion is set, which is completely blanked by the Denko. I'm thinking Luke is going to be walking away with this game very easily.
Well, he does currently have on the field, I believe that's 27 and 1700 attack. So I believe that's game.
That will be
all he needs to do is just poke, poke. Sorry, Luke can just poke, poke and attack James.
I don't know. I don't know if James just drew pass and then or if Luke's doing this main phase too.
Book of Moon.
Okay, yeah. So this is
Book of Moon on Denko.
Yeah. So he has to make some plays here. That was a pretty good draw.
His options are he's got a Falco still in hand, which he's going to set.
Yeah, and he's going to have to maybe flip in the draw phase, the Artifact Sanctum.
Yeah.
Go for the Morale Attack, take out the Trishula, and then he has Elshadol Fusion.
I believe he's actually doing it.
Yeah, he's doing it in Luke's draw phase. So
yeah.
The Morale Attack can quite comfortably, take out the Trishula. Then you've got Elshadol Fusion, which can then be flipped up, and then give him another construct. All before that Denko Seka comes back to haunt him.
Now, looking at Luke's hand, it looks like he's got a Clauselus Valkyrus and a Reinforcements of the Army, and I believe he also has the ability to be able to search his back row, search his deck for his ritual cards. But He doesn't quite,
Well,
because he can't get rid of his Denko Seka. He would have to get rid of his own Denko Seka to be able to do that.
Yeah, he's not going to be able to get rid of that Denko Seka without going into the battle phase unless he uses his reinforcements of the army to grab his DD Warrior Lady and then go for the rank 4. And then find a way to get that rank 4 off the field. So, is he playing Diamond Direwolf or anything? Honestly, I think I'm just kind of speculating. I don't think that's the best play either way.
Yeah, he has Diamond Direwolf.
Yeah, because he has Clauseless, so he's got access to any mirror, and he's got reinforcement of the army, so he has access to shirt. I believe he's playing 2 shirts. Yeah, we've only seen 1 white so far.
Now it was Squamata going to the graveyard by the look of it.
Yeah, that definitely looks like a Squamata, so we're going to see another card going down on top of that.
Effective Falco's just put Falco on the field. And that's a beast to draw some more cards.
Yep. Just giving James more cards. This feels a bit seesawy. That Book of Moon was really good there. Granted, saying that, there was also Regeki would have been an excellent top deck to answer that. None of the trap cards would be good. None of the monsters. No, the Book of Moon was pretty acceptable.
Yeah.
I wouldn't cry about that.
Book of Moon was quite a good card to get in that situation. Now here comes the reinforcements.
Reinforcements, I think that's... Sure, I actually can't. My supervision can't see that from here.
DD Warrior Lady.
Yep, DD Warrior Lady, okay.
So maybe actually going for what you suggested there.
So he can get some mirrors back.
And he's attacking
he's
into
going for the attack to take the fusion out, and then Denko Seka will run over the Falcon, which was summoned back this turn. So it won't get the flip effect. And James is in a very grisly position once again. So James is drawing for the turn. What card does James draw?
No. And he top decked Raigeki.
Ah, it is a Raigeki. Okay, yeah. He's got a Squamata to attack over, so he doesn't need to use that. We're going to see Valkyrus. We may see Valkyrus being played by Luke here to protect his Denko, which is still keeping that back row card locked down.
The back row card is actually only just Shadow Fusion, so there's not really much that you can do there, so it is a bluff.
Yeah, the Valkyrus would be a little bit OTT there. But that was, again, Luke will be making an estimate of what that is. No, he allows that to go through, which is, we know, the best play.
That's because we can see our opponent's hand, both of them.
Yeah, that gives us a little bit of an advantage.
One of us is basically Pegasus.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know if I'd really want to be considered Pegasus, to be honest. I couldn't pull off the red suit.
Would you rather be Marek or something? Or Bakura?
I'm kind of happy just not being an anime character, to be honest. It's like...
It seems like too much work. The hair looks like it doesn't come naturally. Anyway.
Lots of products.
Luke Smythe has got Mystical Space Typhoon, Valkyrus, Clauseless, and now he's just got his Manju of the 10,000 hands, so...
He's ready to go off here. Yeah. He's getting more mirrors, and this is probably where he's going to make... Because that Manju is essentially any card in his deck at this point. Okay, we're going to see Kaleidoscope.
And the Raigeki is set as well.
Yeah, to act as a bluff.
Yeah, James really going, please don't attack me. I can do things, honest.
Yes, when you do that and your opponent attacks, you go, I'm going to let that go. You know, very, very slyly as you look at it, going, yeah, that's okay. There we go, we're going to see Unicorn being added to the hand. We also saw Kaleidoscope added as well. This might be the turn where he drops his level 12 and then gets both Valkyrus and Unicorn out. And he would be able to then run his opponent down. I'm going to guess that Luke's reading those back row cards is not a threat if because he did let the Denko Seka go down. And Kaleidoscope being played. James doing the, yeah, that's okay.
But we all know at this point that Luke has probably got this game.
Yeah, he's going for Unicorn, getting sending the Arc Light, so he's going to get another search. Is there any cards left in James's hand?
Nope.
Yeah,
completely empty.
The setting the Regeki is then to again to prevent Trish hitting him, so it's more than just a bluff. It is. It's yeah, don't Trish me. But of course, if he can pretend it's a bluff and maybe convince Luke.
Well, the point is he's only got 4,000 life points left. Luke has the ability to kind of just go off at this point. So yeah, Trish would be annoying because you're getting rid of the monster, but he's got nothing to stop the monster from being destroyed anyway.
No reason for James to leave him in a position to lose the game so easily. So yeah, saying it's 100% the correct play, and then we're going to see some more damage coming in. That's 500 plus 1900 going in. So James, no cards in hand.
Regeki and Shadow Fusion set face down.
Yeah, so we're going to see Regeki.
Mm-hmm.
The really depressing Fusion with no way of actually activating it.
And a set of Fake Trailer. So again, James really not in any position at the moment.
Yeah, James is like so far behind at this point, and he has to, if he can't pressure at Luke at all, and he's got a pretty hefty 5,500 life points for a zero card hand to try and pressure to take away from him. So he has to try and keep himself untrishable, and I don't know what he could draw to get himself out of this. If I'm entirely honest, the Shadow monsters aren't particularly terrifying on their own. I mean, they would be if Luke runs out of mirrors, but I don't expect Luke to allow this to go on too much longer. He's a very, very powerful player. Has he won the Irish National Championships twice?
Twice, yes. I remember we took a winner's photo of him, and he insisted that he should be able to hold both the giant hand and the Ascension Sky Dragon in the photo. So
well, if you've
he's
got it,
very, very proud of his achievements.
If you've got it, then sure, why not? Yeah, Mystical Space Typhoon.
Mystical Space Typhoon, getting rid of the Shadow Fusion, and just clearing the way.
Yeah, Luke had very little to fear there from his opponent, because he has seen the Artifact Sanctum and he has seen Artifact Monsters, but with no cards on field, he's already seen the Rot Attack, which is limited, so he's just throwing that MST out there and thinking, oh, what's the worst I have? And I hit a Sanctum, and
it does nothing.
It doesn't destroy any of my cards, so... Okay, so we're going to see Necros
Mirrors
Mirror.
hits, then Reinforcement of the Army gets a Clausulus. Luke is just steamrolling James.
Yeah, at this point, this is just like James might be just sitting here for information because he's seeing all this searching, or he's hoping Luke runs out of steam, which it's just not going to happen. So James is playing the information game, going to see what else he can get out of Luke, or he's going to wait until he sees that his opponent's got the game, and then he'll scoop. Yep, we're going to see Valkyrus.
And he just needs to summon one more monster.
Yeah, he's got the Unicorn. I don't believe he's used the discard effect this turn. And he's got Clauseless. No, he's using the effect to discard the Clauseless to draw a card.
And he's going to draw in two.
Manju.
Manju.
Yeah, that'll do it. The Manju attack goes through. He hasn't used his normal summon this turn.
And also he could normal summon and then probably bring out the Unicorn.
Yeah, we've seen both Kaleidoscopes this game. And I believe we've seen... I can't remember if we've seen both cycles.
I know we've seen both mirrors.
Yep, there's Manju. Manju search.
And he's giving it a secret from us.
Trying to be super sneaky here.
Oh. Is it Gunye?
Yeah, it's going, yeah. Ah, okay, yeah, he's playing around potential flip effects, because there's not a Shadow monster with more than 1400 defense that Luke wouldn't mind attacking into, but if he attacks into a Squamata,
Yeah, then he, yeah.
yeah, there it is.
James literally just seeing the writing on the wall and just going, no.
Yeah.
I've pretty much lost this.
He played that right to the end, and he was like just collecting more and more information about how he's going to go side decking in this. I actually thought James was favoured there. I mean, the question was on turn one when he started after he saw his opponents play Necros, was he going to go for Lancia stalls? But he had no way to. He didn't. I don't believe he had many ways to capitalise on that. But his resources all just got whittled away, and then he had no way. He just was top decking, and Luke was just like, yeah, okay, I've got everything, and you have nothing.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, what do you think? What's going to be sided here?
Okay, so for side decking, let's start with James. Since James, it's going to be looking at what he can do about this. He's got the Monarch Storm 4th and Vanity's Fiend, both of which he could use very well against the Necros deck, because the Storm 4th can give him a Djinn out, and he can also get Vanity's Fiend down and then win that way. The Mystical Space Typhoons aren't going anywhere. There is Effect Veiler that could conceivably come in. Effect Veiler and Mind Crushes, because they deal with all the searching effects the Necros deck is going to do. Mind Control we're not going to see. Royal Decrees, I would be shocked and appalled if I saw those coming in against a Necros deck.
Yeah.
Although that's probably when Luke goes, haha, I'm now going to side in my Vanities and Torrential Tribute.
Yeah, Torrential Tribute, Vanity's Emptiness. He has his own Royal Decree, 3 Mind Crush, 2 Breakthrough skill. Very, very heavy trap side deck, to be fair.
Yeah, I don't think Luke's going to feel comfortable keeping the Mystical Space Typhoons in against
Artifacts.
the artifacts, but he can't really afford to take them out because he knows his opponent's going to be now trying to floodgate him.
Yeah.
But he's going to be a lot smarter with those Mystical Space Typhoons, so the artifacts have now lost their element of surprise, which is the worst thing that can happen is when you lose the element of surprise and lose game one. If you're playing an outsider deck, you want to win game one before your opponent gets, while they're unable to play around what you're doing.
So you think Zephyr Saber's going to make an appearance?
Zephyr Saver is probably definitely coming in against Shadow because it stops
Anoithalus being annoying.
Yeah, I've mispronounced that name so many times in the office and keep getting corrected.
That's why I said it for you.
What was I calling it? You know, it's not even important, because last time I made a mispronunciation during the European Championships. I believe it was like Amaterasu confirmed or something.
You said Bujunki Amaretto, I think.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
then that was a thing. So I'm just gonna let you announce the complicated ones and go, yeah, that one.
Okay.
I think that's safer for me. Yeah, we're not going to be seeing Mind Crushers coming in. Well, I think you can take a fusion out of their hand, but it's just like so subpar. Vanity's Emptiness. Vanity's Emptiness definitely make appearance. Flipping that up on a fusion is strong, but then your back row gets harassed quite heavily by dragons, and as long as Luke is keeping his spell and trap zone clear, he has no worries about dragon harassing his spell and trap zone. So we're going to be seeing them shuffle up and get ready for game 2.
Yep, looks like they've just finished siding. And that's Michael and Ryan. Michael on the left, Ryan on the right, operating the iPads. They will be showing everybody exactly what's going on. They are the app masters.
Yeah, we created a title for that. Mostly because we just saw in the chat you guys were just saying, "Hey, who are those guys?" And it was like, "Yeah, they're working on the app. They're actually not the judges for the match, so they're not intervening." There is a judge that you can't see off shot. He's camera shy, but he's keeping track of everything.
And that's Paul. Okay, so we're drawing our hands, and they're about to go in. Let's have a look and see what James is going to have. Because he may be going first here. I mean, who's going to go first in this situation?
So James playing the artifact build, being able to get his Lanciers off. Well, he may have just drew a Lancier.
Mathematician, Raigeki, Mistake, Artifact, Sanctum. So he is actually not in a terrible position. He's got the Mistake to stop any searches going on for Luke. And Luke just quickly has a Bryanak, Valkyrus, Valkyrus, Manju, and a Shurit.
So he's got his two searchers in hand, and he already has Valkyrus and Bryanak. That is a pretty monster hand for Luke until the Mistake is flipped. Had Mistake not been in this equation, that would have been a really good hand.
Okay, I believe the Beast was sent to the graveyard there. Could have been Squamata then Beast by the look of it.
It's most likely that order. It thins the deck and it gives you additional Falco targets.
Okay, so it looks like the Mistake in the Artifact Sanctum is going down.
He hasn't flipped them. Is he flipping them in draw phase? I think after once bitten, twice shy by the Denko Saka, because that would have came down.
There's the draw phrase, and he drew into a second Bryanak. So he's just had most of his hand shut down.
What would have been a monster hand? It would have been like, yeah, I'm going to set this shirt and hope for the best. It's just like if you look at that, it's like, haha, I have everything, and now it's all not helpful.
Yeah, it's all fallen apart. Now, James there, drawing into a Falco and an effect failure. Mathematician is now again hitting the field. And what are we going to send here? I mean, what would you send in this situation?
Probably you could go for Beast if he wants to draw into more of his cards. Falco would be another viable choice because now he can get it back, yeah. And then he's got access to Beast in his graveyard and Squamata. It just opens up the number of options he has for how Luke can respond to this.
Okay. Now he has gone for the Falco and set it. And he's poking into Shurit. Shurit actually has a larger defense. I do believe it's 1800. We can have a look.
Yeah, it's 1800. I try to imagine how Shurit would sound if he talks because he seems like a tryhard. Like all the other ritual monsters require multiple cards to be used and a commitment and clever, and Shurit's just there like, don't worry guys, I've got it covered.
Well, I don't know. Gishki Shadow's a thing.
Yeah, well, but no one likes that card. Well,
Wow.
they like it, but it's just like.
Okay,
You know.
Sanctum is coming down probably to get rid of the Shurit there, just to make sure that no crazy ritual summons can go off. Unicorn just hit hand as well, again doing kind of nothing. That's a hand of lots of cards that can't be used.
This is in Luke's turn.
So, I mean, his option is to kind of just set Manju and then not lose. His pace passing turn. There's nothing that he can actually do.
Well, he can Valkyrus to keep himself alive, and that's a very costly Valkyrus if he banishes that shirt.
Well,
he has another one, right? Oh, he has access to a lot of things. So his goal is to try and draw to out that mistake, but he doesn't have a lot of time to do it. Well, he's got Valkyrus and then Valkyrus again.
So he has two Valkyrus, but unfortunately he'd have to.
And that's actually not lethal.
Discard and banish. Yeah, he has the ability to use it. It's not a lethal amount of damage, but it's still a lot of damage to go through.
Yeah, well, he can take the hits, and then he's got Valkyrus, and then Valkyrus again. So that's sort of 3 turns he's getting instead of going, okay, I'm going to Valkyrus, and then his opponent goes again, and then he goes Valkyrus, and then he gets attacked and loses on the 3rd attack.
Out of curiosity, what synchro cards are in that extra deck?
The extra deck for James has all your Shadow goodness that you'd come to expect. He has
nice Star Eater in there.
He has a Leo, he has a Michael, Black Rose, Volcasaurus, Gaia, Star Eater, Arcanite Magician.
Okay, it looks like he is synchro summoning. for 7, I think.
Yep, 7.
There's Michael.
Michael. Let me just pull Michael up.
Yep, just waiting there a second. It can just... There we go.
Michael's an excellent card, and it has his own fade effect of sending cards. I think Luke is... Yeah, there it is. You see him. He knows that's a draw that has to matter.
Let's see what it was. It was another Manju. So he's setting it.
Yeah, Luke dangerously low here. Yep, Beast, giving more chances to draw into El Shaddai Fusion, which will allow him to dodge the Valkyrus entirely. Since Valkyrus has to actually stop an attack, and the El Shaddai Fusion makes the attack monster disappear.
And there's also Vanity's Emptiness, just for when he gets rid of that mistake. And there's the El Shaddai Fusion. So he has actually pretty much got this now. He can just attack for game with...
Yeah, the Valkyrus is going to
come down.
Played. Yeah, and then
just completely skipping. So completely turning it around there. I mean, James really kind of playing it there, getting that key mistake.
Yeah, Luke's opening hand was savage. Had the mistake not been a factor into it. I'm imagining Luke is going to be considering all of these artifact cards that he wants to negate without destroying. We're going to see the Royal Decrees definitely coming in alongside the Denko Sekas.
Yeah. I mean, you really don't want to see mistake when you're playing a deck that solely relies on being able to search for cards.
Yeah, that was just really rough beats, because any other time you'd have been quite happy to see a hand of like, oh, I've got multiple searchers, I've got the Valkyrus, I'm pretty free to do whatever I want. And then the mistake attacked.
Make no mistake.
More puns. More puns of
it's
damage.
It's wonderful. Puns of damage.
Yeah.
Oh, that was horrible.
Yeah.
Oh. So, as you say, that's what's happening over there, but it looks like James is also siding as well. Now, he's just sided... What he sided before seemed absolutely fantastic for what was going on, but it seems he's made a couple of changes.
He may be making changes, considering his opponent may choose to go first this time, so he's been going second, so I can't see what he would have changed. He might have just been trying to throw Luke off. I didn't actually see how he was doing it, because you get some people that shovel their whole side deck in and then just take 15 cards out.
He was doing that.
Okay, yeah, fair enough then.
So yeah, you're right. He could have just been changing up because his opponent is now going first.
That's one less card to start with Necros, which is always pretty horrible, because that one card can make the difference between an excellent opening and a subpar one where you end up passing and then your opponent does a huge play.
Yeah.
Alright, here we go, game 3.
As they say, it is time to duel. Now, let's see who's going first.
This is where we study Yu-Gi-Oh! Sign language, because we can't actually we don't have mics on the table, so we can't actually hear what the players are saying.
Okay, so it looks like Michael and Ryan are just entering the hands there. Luke has got a Kaleidoscope, a Shurret, a Reinforcement to the Army, Send You with 1,000 Hands, and a Mystical Space Typhoon.
Yeah, he's got his 2 Searchers, and he's got a Ritual Mirror. That's a good start.
And we've got an El Shaddai Fusion, a Para Cerberus, a Effect Veiler, Vanity's Fiend, and Mystical Space Typhoon. Vanity's Fiend being just a massive play card there. Now, James has actually gone first, and it looks like he's set the effects. Wait, so probably set this Para Cerberus, and the El Shaddai, and the Mystical Space Typhoon.
Yeah, Luke deciding that extra card is more important than getting his setup before James can deploy a mistake or any of these other. You can play Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards, affectionately called Floodgates.
Now he's drawn his card there. It's a cycle.
Yep, Mystical Space Typhoon.
He's hitting the Mystical Space Typhoon. Quickly chain it.
Quick, it negates. No, it doesn't.
It doesn't
ongoing.
negate.
If you're at
No,
home, don't.
it doesn't negate.
Don't.
Mystical Space Stuffing does not negate.
No, it does not.
It does look like they haven't updated the life point count from the last game.
No, I think they're
but
talking about end of match procedure here.
Are they?
Is it, well, there's a lot of tapping backwards and forwards, and I know that's not Mystical Space Stuffing's fault.
That is correct.
Okay, so Senju being summoned.
Now, I've got no word from the table, but it is end of match. But we'll see. Hopefully, one of our volunteers over there will let us know.
That seems like it would be very, very fast if it was. Maybe my perception of time is just getting warped this close to lunchtime.
Yes. Senju with 1,000 hands hitting the field there, and I believe it has just got a Necros of Unicorn.
Yep, which goes very nice with the Kaleidoscope. Kaleidoscope going to be sending Herald of the Arclight to the graveyard, getting that Unicorn down.
Overlaying, and it could very well just be going for a Gin Lock at this point.
Yeah, he could do. I mean, he still has just so much he can do there. Oh, he's done the Mystical Space, and he's got perfect Trish right there.
He has got a perfect Trish, you're correct.
That's one of the most horrible things when Necros go, yeah, Mystical Space Typhoon, and then you've got one other card on the field, and it's like, uh-oh. Especially when it's not a breakthrough skill or anything to stop your opponent.
Okay, so Bryanek is going in the graveyard.
We're going to see that Trish search. It's Peri Cerebus face down as well, so that Trish is going to be extra brutal because it will deny the Peri its graveyard effect.
Interesting card to come out of Premium Gold too as well.
I absolutely love this card. It allows you to do so much in so many different decks, and it outs the cards like Mistake and stuff like that. As soon as you take damage, battle or effect damage, you can just banish it and destroy a card. And it's one of the easiest cards for your opponents to forget about, especially when they're doing really complicated turns. They'll flick through your graveyard maybe once or twice. They may miss the Cerebus or not consider it in and just get caught off guard by it. And you can even use it aggressively when you run your smaller guys into your opponent and then take out their cards as well. So very, very versatile. And in this deck with Shadow Fusion, being able to get El Shekanaga, you can just get that straight out of your deck to the graveyard. So you don't even have to worry about getting it on the field.
Cycle's coming down.
Yep, discarding the shirt to get the Bryonic. Luke is just going straight in on this. This is
this is his
this is going to be
one turn, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, that's reinforcements in the army. Yep. Necklace Mirror. Yeah, wow,
yeah,
James.
This is it.
James is just. This is over. Does James have anything in his hand that can?
He has an effect Veiler, so he could actually
stop it. Oh, he's going to stop the Trish. Okay.
But it's still not really enough because Paraceropus having 1800 defense there. It depends whether he attacks
yeah,
it
but
with
the key thing there is it blocks an attack, and then he can banish it from the graveyard to take out another card, so he doesn't get.
Ah, this is true.
He doesn't get wiped out by this.
Luke hesitating.
Yeah, because he's going to be considering any number of flip effect monsters now. He's probably not expecting the Para. See, exactly, because he attacks thinking, okay, Shadow monster, low attacks, and now 3 attacks are going to get blocked this turn. So this gives James a pretty big window to enter back in through Luke's overextension.
Now, he's attacking that. Is he going to attack again?
Yeah.
So he takes the damage. And then...
He doesn't use the Para.
Maybe he's waiting for another turn.
Or he's still thinking about it. Yeah, he goes for it and takes... he's blocking the... He's not going to block the attack. He's going to block the rank 4 play. So
which says to me, as you thought earlier, I don't think it's in time. Otherwise, he wouldn't allow himself to go down to 3,000 life points.
Yeah, that would be...
That would be a strange play.
Yeah.
To say the least.
I like to live dangerously. It's the sort of thing you say when you do that, when you take all that damage before going into end of match procedure. I'll say so.
Some mathematician, and he's got an Elstall fusion, so he could go Falco, which would allow him to get a Shekanaga, because I believe that mathematician is Earth.
Yep, that is correct. And a spellcaster, so it fits in with the deck quite nicely.
Interesting. I don't think there's a secret village of the spellcasters in the side deck.
No, not for this.
Shame, because it's one of those cards that really shuts down most decks at the moment, just stopping any sort of spells, or trap. Is it spells and trap cards that stop getting played?
It's just spell cards, but the thing is that's problematic to bring that in Shadows when Necros decks have started playing the Zephyr Saber. That allows them to
playing one.
summon without using a spell card. And then, yeah, there we go, there's a handshake.
Yeah. There's really nothing that James can do at that point.
Yeah, that was just a pretty... The Necros just, it smelt the window, it just saw the window and went, yeah, I'm going right through that. And he just ran at it. I don't know, I'm trying to make it sound.
Saw the window, ran at it, and won.
Yeah, that's the best way to describe that.
Yes, so absolutely fantastic plays from Luke Smythe there. I mean, was there anything particularly big in that game that you saw?
Just him seeing that opening right at the beginning and going straight for it. That in that game 3, that was definitely just he made an estimate on how strong James's hand is based on where he started. Interestingly, he chose to go second in that final game, knowing that James is playing Mistake, and he couldn't have been relying on just summoning the Denko Sekka because the Mistake was going to be flipped immediately in the draw phase. So then Luke could have been in the same position he was in game 1, but he chose to go second, take the extra card, and then he just goes for it.
So what you're really saying is that Mistake is the MVP?
Yeah, it definitely was in game 1 because game 2, because you're going to just quite easily see how this excellent Necros hand becomes dead weight, and otherwise that game would have just been a landslide to Luke. So the Mistake was
definitely the MVP. Yeah, definitely. So we have, well, round 2 is now over. Necros is the victor.
Yeah, that's...
once again, I believe they won round 1 as well.
Yeah, 2 rounds running.
Yep, so that's both Clifford and Shadow that have fallen to them so far. We don't have much time as the tournament is running quite over time underneath us, unfortunately, a few floors down. So there will be no interview with the winner this time round, unfortunately. Would have been nice to just ask Luke a few questions about some choices in his deck. So we will be right back. Hopefully with some highlights. If not, we'll see you at the next round.